Welcome back to FM Story. At the end of the last episode, we finished season 6 of the South American Glory Hunt save. We managed to win the league and the cup with Vélez, which meant there's nothing left to win in Argentina, so it's time to move on. Let's find out where we begin season 7. And so we've moved to Colombia to take over at junior. It was about the only club that was even in the top half of any of their divisions that had a job opening available. Now, with Colombia, the league obviously split into two, the Apertura and the Clausura. There's no overall winner of the title, so the decision I made was that in Colombia we would have to win both the Apertura and the Clausura to class that as a league title win. It wouldn't have to necessarily be in the same season, but as long as we win both the Apertura and the Clausura at some point, we would class that as having won the league title. And obviously we're looking to win the Colombian Cup as well. And so, I mean, looking at it, they did reasonably well last season. There's 2 million spent in the transfer budget, 84 grand a week in terms of the wage budget. The youth rating is really high, so hopefully there's some young players that we might be able to blood into the team as well. The expectation is to reach the knockout stage of the Copa Sudamericana. We don't need to worry about that too much. They want us to reach the semi-final of the Apertura, which is fine. They want us to reach the latter stages of the Copa Colombia, which obviously is what we're looking to do anyway. The fans want us to play defensively solid football and make the most of set pieces. They want to maintain the club status as the most reputable team in Colombia. So hopefully, if the reputation is that high, that'll help to bring players in. And so our journey in Colombia begins. So we took over at junior on the 31st of January. We've had a couple of days since to get our feet under the table. They have started the season pretty well. So far they've played 4 league games, starting with a 2-0 victory away from home. They beat Millonarios 3-1 at home, lost away at Atlético Nacional, and then beat Independiente Santa Fe 2-0 in the most recent game, the day before we took over. Looking at the squad, there are some obvious issues. It's not a particularly big squad. There were some positions where we didn't have any players. I think in the first team squad, when we actually took over, there was 1 centre-half. We did call up a player from the youth team who was the only other centre-half that appeared on the squad planner. And we've managed to add a couple of players since even we took over. The other big concern is the number of players that are contracted to the end of this year. And that was an issue when we've been trying to bring players in as well. So in terms of the transfers, everything that went out before we came in. A couple of players on loan. Medrano went out for some decent money. We've then signed 2 centre-halves so far because, like I say, we only had 1 and both of the centre-halves we had were under 20. The first one we signed was another young centre-half, Colombian centre-half, Juan Arboleda. Big, strong, not particularly good in the air despite the fact that he's 6'4", which is a bit of a concern. But hopefully he can develop. We've signed him from Fortaleza, where he's already played 60 games and he's only just 19 now. And then the other player we've managed to get over the line is David Ramirez Pisciotti, who is again a Colombian centre-half. Again, pretty strong, pretty big, and is a bit more experienced than any of the other centre-halves we had at the club. So they immediately go in as our 2 best centre-halves, which is a good thing that we've managed to get them in. We are looking at bringing in a goalkeeper. So we're looking to bring in Andres Tovar, who's a Colombian from Envigado, 24 years old, quite a bit of experience. At least he should be able to come in and challenge Lecce, who's our only other goalkeeper in the first team squad. Tactically, I don't really know what we're actually going to do. We're going to start with a 4-3-3, see what happens, and go from there. I think probably we're going to dial back the attacking threat a bit before we actually get to this first game. But kind of going into this first game blind, we don't really know what we've got. Looking at the season preview, we're predicted to finish 6th based on everything. So they're already doing pretty much better than you would expect. But we don't really have anyone threatening to be in the media dream 11. So it might be tough this first half of the season. As we said, with the Colombian League, there is no overall champion. So what we decided in terms of satisfying the winning of the league in Colombia is we would have to win both the first phase and the second phase. It doesn't have to be in the same season, but we have to win both of those for us to satisfy having won the league. We did at the beginning of this save. Junior did win the first season, both the first phase and the second phase. They finished second in the second phase in 2027 behind Atlético Nacional. But other than those 2 seasons, they've not really challenged for the top spot. So hopefully now that we've taken over, we can get to grips with the team. We've still got till March to bring some more players in, but hopefully we can get off to a strong start away at Alianza FC in our first game. So this is the side we're going into for the game against Alianza. We've got our 2 new signings in centre of defence. We have gone with the 4-3-3. We have tempered it a bit so that we're not quite as gung-ho. We don't quite have the players to play out from the back, so we've adjusted how we distribute the ball from the back as well. So hopefully we can keep up the good start that Junior have had before we came in. All right, we've got a throw. Herrera to the back post. Hulimar with a header, who's already got 4 goals this season, but it goes over the top. Right, a free kick for them into the box. They're 2-on-1 at the back post there, and luckily they didn't hit the target. Right, they've gone long from the keeper. Right, we've won a header, but they've picked up the loose ball. They're going down the right-hand side. Back to the full-back, cross into the box. Again, a free header at the back post. Quintero's put them 1-0 up. And that is not what we were looking for as a start to this game's concerned. It's just far too easy. I mean, our full-back doesn't even get off the ground. And we've got work to do. Right, Herrera with a throw for us. Torres into Colorado. Finds Palacios. Zarate making a run into the box. Keeper makes a good save. Colorado has it. Guzman's run off it. And they managed to clear it. Right, corner. Torres to take it in towards the near post, up in the air. It's headed down by one of the new signings and then hammered clear by them. Zarate driving forward with it. Cross into the box. It's headed away from Hulimar. Guzman crosses towards the back post. And it's headed over the top. Right, they've played the ball into the middle of the pitch. We are all over the place. One of our new signings is already looking like he needs to come off because he's knackered. They're in behind that fullback again. And luckily he's given offside. Right, Zarate to the back post. We've hit the post. And they've cleared it for a throw. We're creating some chances. We're just not looking like taking them. We're not playing particularly well. And we look a liability every time they go forward. But there we are. Half time, 1-0 down. I mean, really, we shouldn't be. We've had more chances. We've had more possession. But they look a lot more dangerous than we do with it. Right, we've made one change at halftime. We brought on Wilman Farah, who was the player we brought out of the youth team, to come on to centre of defence instead of Pisciotti, who was really struggling fitness-wise. We've rejigged the front three, switched them around a bit in terms of positions to see if that makes a difference to things. Like Guzman with a throw, Colorado back to Abaleda. Guzman now driving in field, finds Diaz. Wide to Palacios, who's now gone wide left. Colorado over the top to Palacios into the box. Hulimar, I think he was offside, but how he couldn't even hit the target from there. We've got some serious concerns, I think, here. Right, we've just rejigged the formation. We've made some substitutions to see if that will help. Higuita has come on at left back, drives a low cross in, gets it back in the box. It's headed clear. Colorado finds Zarate. Higuita into Palacios in the box, takes a touch, beats the keeper, he's onside, and that's levelled it up at 1-1. We've been pretty poor in the second half, but finally Zarate into Higuita, slides the ball down the past the defence for Palacios, who beats the keeper from close range. Right, Palacios finds Diaz out to Higuita. Palacios again into the box. Goes for the near post this time. The keeper turns it behind for a corner. And Zarate's out to take the corner. In swinger to the middle of the goal. It's headed back to him. He finds Higuita, shifts it across, all the way across to Herrera, who's now at right back, and his shots turn behind for another corner. We're starting to dial up some pressure on them here. Zarate again to take it. Aims for the far post, it's headed back towards goal, but high and wide and onto the roof of the net. Into injury time. And there we go, 1-1. Looking at the match stats, that's probably a massive disappointment, especially when you look at the XG. But the fact that we were 1-0 down, for us to fight back and actually get a point, we've done not too bad there. And it gives us something to build on. But there are some areas of this squad that we do need to look to strengthen in the coming weeks. So we're now at the beginning of March. The transfer window has just closed, and things have gone pretty well since that first game we had against Alianza. We have, after that game, we switched the formation to the formation that we finished that game with, and things have gone well since then. We have done a bit of business in the transfer market. In terms of outgoings, there's a couple of young players gone out, and then in terms of the incomings, we've signed Andres Tova, goalkeeper who we were looking to sign. Unfortunately, he came in with a broken arm, so hasn't actually played for us yet. And then we picked up Jeremiah Gallard, Argentinian attacking midfielder, centre forward, on a free transfer. He spent last season at Deportivo Cali, and he's played 3 games for us so far. Got a goal and 2 assists in those 3 games. So he's kind of hit the ground pretty quickly for us. Obviously, we saw that game against Alianza. We then followed that up with a 3-0 victory at home against Union Magdalena. We then followed that up with a 3-3 draw away at Fortaleza. We were 1-0 up and 2-1 up, and then required an own goal for them on the hour to rescue the point for us. We then followed that up with a 4-0 victory at home against Claneros, and then beat Inter de Palma 3-1 away from home. Coming up next, we've got a big game against Deportivo Cali. And it's a big game because they're currently joint top of the table. They've got 22 points from their opening 9 games. We've got 20 in third, and Atletico Nacional have got 19 in fourth. Going into the game, we do have a bit of a problem at left back in that the 2 players we've played at left back so far, Edwin Herrera is out injured, Jonathan Higuita is suspended, and Tovar, I don't quite know whether we're going to risk him in goal against a team that's second in the table. But we can pick up big 3 points here. It'll go a long way towards securing our spot in the semi-final of the Apertura to hopefully go a long way to winning a trophy. So this is the side we've picked for the home game against Deportivo Cali. As we said, a big game against a team that's up at the top of the table there. We haven't risked Tovar with as he's not fully fit, so we're keeping Lecce in goal. Hernandez is playing left back with the two left backs out injured. And we've got Jeremiah Gallard playing in the number 10 role behind Ulimar. And hopefully we can continue the form we've shown since the Alianza game. Right, a throw for them deep in our half. They've worked the ball into the box. And luckily they couldn't keep the shot down. Right, Hernandez with a throw. Gallard back to him. Looked for Gallard again, but we've given it away in their box. And they've tried to play it up. We've won the ball back. Zarate gives it away though. Pisciotti cleaning up at the back. Out looking for Guzman, who gets there and gets past his man who'd overcommitted himself. Cross towards the back post. Hulimar pulls back for Hernandez. And he just can't keep the shot down. Right, a corner for them. Flicked on at the near post and then headed over from point blank range. It should at least be hitting the target there, I would have thought. Luckily they didn't. Right, Guzman. Back to Zarate. Guzman into Gallard. Zarate finds Gallard on the edge of the box. Shifts it out wide to Hernandez. Drives towards the byline. Pulls it back. It's been saved and it goes out for a throw in to us. Right, a corner. Cantillo to take it. In swinger to the near post. It's up in the air. Pisciotti pulls it down. Olarte smashes it against the bar. And they've cleared it down the line. And it's still in play. And luckily Hernandez gets back to put it out for a throw so we can get back into shape. Right, Zarate finds Arboleda. Colorado. Gallard with space. Out to Olarte on the right. Over to Cantillo on the left. Into Gallard in the box. Squares it. Olarte scores. Thought there was a chance that Gallard was maybe offside from the pass forward, but he does brilliantly to get onto it. So when this ball here comes, I thought he'd gone too early. He just leaves the defender for dead, squares it with the outside of his foot, and Olarte with a simple tap in at the back post to put us 1-0 up. Right, a corner for them. Into the near post. We've got a head on it, but they've got it on the edge of the box. I mean, we've got away with one there. I honestly thought we'd given away a penalty, but he eventually gets shot away off the bar and out. And there we are, half-time 1-0. We've certainly been the more threatening team, I think. And more of the same in the second half. We'll secure the 3 points and move on, I think. Right, a free kick, Gallard to take it. Over the wall, and it ripples the roof of the net on its way over. Right, a throw for us. Guzman to take it. To Olarte, back to Guzman. Olarte in the box. He just dragged it, and it went wide of the near post. Cantillo, let's come back. Gallard now into the box. Heavy foot touch there. Oh, we've recycled it well. Farah, who's come on for Zarate, is really a centre-half playing in midfield. And Cantillo's shot off the top of the bar and over. Right, we've got a team running a bit on empty. Luckily, they are a bit as well. We've made some substitutions, trying to get some fresh legs on, but we've got some square pegs in round holes as far as who's actually on the pitch. Players playing out with the normal position, but hopefully we can hang on for this injury time period. And there we go, full time, 1-0, 3 points, and a big, big victory against the team that were joint top of the table going into the game. And there we are, we've begun a new chapter in Colombia, and it's gone pretty well. We've taken charge of 7 games in the league with junior so far. We've drawn 2, we've won 5, we've lost none. Things are going pretty well. We're second in the table. Finishing top of the table doesn't really make that much of a difference because we go into the semi-final stage and then hopefully the final after that. So it's all about maintaining this good run of form as long as we can. Join us in the next episode to see how we get on with the rest of the league stage and the semi-final stage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.